Good morning on this April 6th day of 2014. I want to pick up again with the early childhood and the overlapping problems and issues created by the war effort. As we've talked about, you need to understand what it was like during the war. One of the reasons we're secluded in story is the fact that we had the availability, we had all kinds of room. There were the four of us, myself and my cousin Suzanne, Bud, that's Davis, and Chuck. So it was simpler, I think, for our folks, probably less expensive. And let's see, hard to describe war years. You have gas rationing, you have food rationing, you have everything controlled, you have everything recycled. We could talk about that later, but we used to save string and we would roll it in a ball. Aluminum foil, such as you would find in cigarette pack. It was all neatly pressed and saved. It was a time of austerity and a time of, you can't say hardship really, but you can say certainly not normal. There is nothing about war efforts is normal. In your homes, you had to be prepared to darken your windows every night so that no light shone. And the working situation was, and this is where my dad will begin to come into play, he did not serve in the service. Instead, he, I guess, volunteered, but at any rate, was hired by the local Sheridan Iron Works to do job works. In this vast country of ours, when we did unleash our abilities and our resources, it was absolutely incredible. Here's a little ironworks shop that just works basically at that time for railroads, making parts, fixing things. And now they're in the middle of the war effort, and they're assigned specific duties. Also, you need to recall that at that period of time, everyone worked 6 days a week. So there was only one holiday, and that was Sunday. And there weren't 50 other holidays that at your disposal to make life easier. You just worked. So we would go to, once we were at Story, my dad and my uncle and my grandfather sometimes, but mostly the two of them, my dad and my uncle, drove up on Wednesday night, had dinner with all of us, and we had time together as a family. And then they went back into Sheridan on Thursday and Friday, and Thursday and Friday. Saturday they worked. Saturday night they came back out again for the weekend. So Sunday was the only real day that we had with our family, as a family. Now, of course, the whole time I had my mother, as did my cousins. But I think this explains somewhat my lack of in-depth understanding of my father. He was under a lot of stress for the war effort. The whole world was, the nation was, but not for us, for the kids. We were all too young, and so we lived a storybook life. And my thought is I would be, the simplest way to do it, let's put it that way, would be to just describe a day in my life, its story, and then you'll have some notion as to what it was like, and maybe have a better picture of me and the whole family and society as a whole. So I'm going to stop and try and upload this thing, and then we'll do a typical day. Oh,